emerged in the fray. From the United States dawn to the kingdom's gray. A voice for the real, I'll never fold. On the airwaves front, my truth I hold. I crossed the sea, left my homeland's light, to battle for truth in the kingdom's fight. They strike at dawn on PSB's early call. Time zones won't break me, I'll stand through it all. Good morning, Base T. Good morning, good evening, Base T. Oh, that's a good start. Oh. Testing. Mic check. What's the cost to stand when the world's gone astray? Can a spark of truth light a darkened day? I stand on the line where the brave don't flee. Crypto's my weapon, it sets the truth free. Through the storm, wow. And the scorn, will it ever set me free, baby? Hear my voice, my fight with Base Davey today. Does a warrior rest when the battle's won? Nope. I dream of a shore neath the rising sun, a haven of palms, my island to be, a hard-earned refuge where my soul's set free. The line holds firm, it's a spark we ignite, a blockchain's promise, our guiding light. This is Base Davey, unyielding I stand, shaping the future with truth in my hand. The line holds firm, it's a spark we ignite, a blockchain's promise, our guiding light. This is Base Amy, unyielding I stand, shaping the future with truth in my hand. That's me, baby. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. I do hope you're all well. Thank you for joining. It is Monday. Let me just check the mic check, which still seems to be a bit low. Stand by. Let me just turn it up a tad. My apologies. It is Monday. It's Monday. I can't believe it's Monday. It doesn't really feel like Monday. It feels like Friday, to be honest. We've had a very busy weekend. It's the 23rd of June, 2025. Monday. And yeah, I haven't had great amount of sleep this weekend because I've got to blame it on President Trump. I mean, he wrecks my beauty sleep by doing his little shenanigans, as he does, you know, dropping the old Basker. I keep saying that. What is it? What is it called? Oh, I can't even think about it. Busting bombs or whatever the hell it is. Anyway, I'm going to just say it's Monday, and I do want to apologize for my oversight on Friday. That really sucked. Okay, Friday I went for a whole 20 minutes without realizing I was muted, and my display was such that it wasn't showing my audio, and so I was just rattling on. I mean, I was saying some really juicy stuff, ladies and gentlemen. It's a shame you missed it, because it was very, very, I mean, it was just deep. It was deep, it was profound, it was witty. Oh, my days. I was so impressed. I found out. And thank you, City Flyer. Thank you. So who they were. They were literally. I could not believe anybody was still there. Having 20 minutes of muted, and you stood firm and you stayed with me. Thank you. I mean, there is. If you want to watch, if you do want to catch the replay, you just go to 20 minutes in on Rumble, and go from there, because that's where I start. Anyway, that's it. It's been a long time since I've had one of those technical glitches. And I fired my sound man. I did. Instantly fired. You're fired. So is it World War III? Oh, let me just, I know. That's actually, I know why my mic isn't working very well. It's because my mic is not very close to me. Hello? Hello, Mike. How are you? Dick and Doris in the house. Two Guns Pete here. Good evening to you, sir. And good evening to your mom, Dick and Doris. Yeah, well, it looks like they're trying desperately to get World War III started as we speak at this very moment in time. Actually, I can't assume what people know out there. To be brutally frank, there are a lot of people who don't know a lot. In fact, there are people who are completely oblivious that anything serious happened over the weekend. And just so you know, I have a little bit of a mystery. I'm a bit curious. I haven't shared this with anybody, but in the early hours of Sunday morning. Was it Sunday morning or Friday night? Hang on. Oh God, things happen so quickly. Was it the early hours of Friday night? Saturday morning? When did he do the bombs? Hang on. When the hell did the bombs go? So President Trump did the bunker busting. That's it. The bunker busting bombs on Iran to destroy the 3 sites that apparently have the uranium. Oh my gosh. I think I just need to go back to bed. I can't speak tonight, Lejean. I can't speak. My words are just coming out all wrong. And I haven't had a single drink. So anyway, as we speak, it's a potential that can't speak. Iran. I want to say uranium for the nuclear. I want to say Iran. I want to say Iranian, and it comes out all messed up. So it's quite exciting. It seems very exciting, and I have to think of my wonderful, may he rest in peace, Elvis, who was from Iran. He was a Persian, and he came to this country. He had to escape from the mullahs, from the Islamic nightmare nutcases. And he came to this country, and he made it his mission to try to warn everybody about the sinister aspects of Islam, creep of Islam, and the dangers. And it just would have been a wonderful thing to have seen him, because it seems as though Iran is on the brink of a change, of having the Khomeini removed or stepped down or whatever, and the son, the crown prince, step in. That's what it seems like. But the thing is that getting an up-to-date messaging as to what is happening. Sorry, I'm seeing breaking news with regards to XRP, so I'm just getting a bit excited. Sorry, but so as we speak, right, it looks like there's a potential changing of the guard in Iran after 49 years. No, it couldn't be 49. It was 1979. 46 years of the Islamic regime being there, and with the issue with Israel and Iran. Israel preemptively attacked Iran. I didn't think Donald Trump was going to get involved, and I don't know what's happening, ladies. My apologies. I really am sorry. My everything's out of whack. It's like somebody just came in and just clicked everything into different places because nothing is in the right place. So, as I say, as of this moment in time, we don't know if the Shah is going to step back in and see, the thing is, I have not been on this computer. I've been on my laptop. That's my problem, and I didn't update things, so I'm just a little bit. I'm just trying to get the up-to-date stuff. So President Trump obviously bombed the big time in a surprise attack in Iran on. Was it? Come on, somebody tell me. Was it the early hours of Saturday morning or was it the early hours of Sunday morning? No, it must have been. It must have been. Oh, son of a gun. Let's see. I've completely lost track of time. This is quite scary. And I'm on all the wrong channels. Oh. And I almost said a really naughty word then. Did you hear? Did you hear? I was so close. I was that close to saying a very naughty word. Because nothing is right here. I've got completely screwed up. And yeah, so happy Friday. I mean, no, see, it's Monday. I'm going to go to bed. I'm sorry. I'm going to just, I think I'm going to put a lid on it, I think. Because nothing's working. Right, I need to, somebody corrected me on this. That was the early hour. Okay, so it was Saturday night. I guess it was Saturday night. It was Saturday night. That's right. Thank you. Thank you. Trump truths. Trump. The Truth Socials crashed again. You know, you can't get the Truth Socials these days. We've got a bloody connection error. What's going on? Are they crashing Truth Social? Donald Trump's just going to have to give up on Truth Social. He is. Oh, have I just muted myself now? Jeez. Hang on. Oh, God blimey. Just fire me now. Right, here we go. Look what I got when I tried to get on True Social. It says API connection error. Service high traffic. Okay. All right, let's see. Let's do real Donald Trump here. So in the early hours, I'm not going to tell you. I did a bet. Right, literally, just minutes after I bet someone who shall remain nameless. I don't even know if I want to tell you what the wager was. He must have had the news that Donald Trump was going to bomb Iran with the bunker busting bombs. Literally, not minutes later, was the announcement made, which was, we have completed our very successful attack on 3 nuclear sites in Iran, including Fordow, Natanz, or Fordow, whatever the hell it's called, Natanz and Esfahan, which I thought it was like, oh, never mind. All planes are now outside of Iran airspace. A full payload of bombs was dropped on the primary site, Fordow. All planes are safe on their way home. Congratulations to our great American warriors. There's not another military in the world that could have done this. Now is the time for peace. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Now, this was posted on the 22nd of June, but it doesn't have a timestamp, which is unusual. It's kind of annoying. And just a few days earlier, Donald Trump had posted unconditional surrender to do with Iran, because of course Israel had preemptively attacked Iran. Did anybody have to mention? Did anybody ever question what happened to President Trump's hair? I mean, what happened to the hair? Did he have it dyed for the announcement? What's the deal? I mean, it's like, what color is that? What happened to his lovely white hair? Or blonde, I suppose. Boom, 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 boom. We had the JD Vance, we had the Marco Rubio, we had Hegseth and President Trump. He did the flag, which is also a Q drop message. Anyway, oh, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to try X on Iran. Now, what was I going to do? Hang on. I've got to play this. Now, 18 minutes ago, Dan Scavino, I mean, it's all up to date, right? Iran has officially responded to our obliteration of their nuclear facilities with a very weak response. This is obviously quoting President Trump. I mean, is everybody up to speed? Is everybody up to speed with what happened this weekend? Because I know friends of mine really have no clue that anything even happened over the weekend with Iran and Israel and America and Israel, and now today Iran and Qatar. Okay? There are people who are close to me who I see every day, and and they have no idea. They're oblivious. I mean, the thing is, you don't turn on the news. I'm trying to see. So, Dick and Doris, if you could have put that in the Telegram, that would have been more useful. But I'll have to do it myself. Don't worry. You just can't get this stuff these days. All right. So anyway, right. Has Trump bombed Iran? Are you joking, Two Guns Pete? So President Trump on in the early hours of Saturday morning, they didn't bomb Iran. They bombed the bunkers that housed allegedly the nuclear components to a nuclear warhead. Now they used these bunker busting bombs, which go down, they don't explode on contact, they go down to a certain depth and then they explode. And so what that does, and of course I've become highly experienced and expert on this, what is said is that they don't, it makes less of a mess, okay? So it sort of concentrates the explosion down deep below the earth where they've gone, instead of doing a kablamo and exploding it all up and having everything be released into the air. So obviously, if there's radioactive, nuclear, whatever stuff, not only does it reach down deep into the earth to the bunkers that are housing these things, the explosion is contained down below. Thus, in fact, it would destroy down below, and of course, the earth would then close in over the hole because of the explosion. So that is just genius. Yeah, Two Guns Pete's taking a piss. All right, Iran is officially response. So anyway, so they did that. The thing on Saturday, there was an aerial view of. Sorry, hold on. Anyway, none of this is funny. Okay, so let me. All right. So from Saturday night's explosion, all kinds of responses around the world. Russia very pissed off with America, allegedly so. Nudge, nudge, wink, wink. China not so happy. They don't want the Straits of Hormuz closed, which is what Iran threatened to do in a response to the American bombing of just the bunkers. They didn't attack any civilian places. It was very focused on the weapons. That's it. So it didn't attack Iran. Now, just so you know, the media, the fake stream media, the politicians, especially the English politicians, they're all going, oh, Iran's threatening to close the Straits of Hormuz. Well, not quite like that. We're saying it a bit more seriously. Yeah, Iran is threatening to close the Straits of Hormuz in response to America and Israel's attack. And so what we're looking now, very handy, is looking at the Straits of Hormuz, and it looks like it's working. It's open, it's still working, and all kinds of rumors abound because, of course, with the Straits of Hormuz closed, that means some of the oil, a portion of the world's oil would not get to the destination, and so the people would be able to put their oil prices up, and this is a strait here, and but China said no. China said no, shut Straits of Hormuz. Thank you, Quantum Respawn, Bunker Buster. Yeah, so anyway, I'm trying to think, I don't even know the timeline. Oh my days. Everything's happening so quickly because there's all kinds of stuff going on with Robert Kennedy Jr. with the health thing. Of course, they keep on talking about the big, beautiful bill. In this country, we're going to hell in a handbasket, just rapidement. So I really don't like listening to any of the news in this country. And you know, it's like, oh, who's saying what to wear? And to be honest with you, nobody's relevant other than Donald Trump, the Shah, maybe Netanyahu, only because, but I don't like him, just so you know. Anyway, so the Straits of Hormuz is open. As you can see, this is a real-time view of the Straits. So if anybody tries to suggest that the Straits have been closed, it will be fake news. All right. So this is the Persian Gulf. There's the green ones are going that way, and the red ones are. I don't even know what the green and the red means. What does it mean? Destination Milazzo, Italy. What are the green ones? Don't know. So just so you know, at this time of night, nothing's changed. And President Trump has said to the oil people, do not dare put the prices up. I'm watching you. So nobody muck around with the oil prices, because he did a message as well saying, drill, baby, drill. So America doesn't need oil from there. America's got its own oil, so there's no excuse to put the prices up in America, okay? Now, anyway, so Israel did a preemptive attack on Iran because they're proxies of Hezbollah and Hamas, and the Houthis have been nothing but causing trouble. Of course, Gaza is another issue. So all of these apparently are Iranian proxy groups because Iran wants death to America, death to Israel. So just so you know, which of course is very bad. And you know, it's quite interesting because the only people who seem to scream those words are jihadists. Really, I've not heard any other people or individual ever scream death to Israel, death to America. So by default, that means that David Clues of Unity News Network is a jihadist. There you go. Bish bash bosh. He is such a loser. Honestly, he's just a weirdo. I don't even want to talk about him, but he's just so bad. He's so bad. Anyway, right, back to tonight. Right, so the response from Iran, because of course Israel obliterated a lot of the weapons, a lot of the airfields, a lot of the places, and then America showed up on in the early hours of Saturday morning or the late evening in America time and blasted the nuclear locations, and of course Iran with the Muslims, not the Persian Iranians, but the Muslims, because of the low IQ, because of their emotional retardation, Iran has to threaten the big Satan with a response, even though they have nothing to fire with because everything's been obliterated. So just as a token gesture to keep the little mentally retarded, emotionally retarded jihadists appeased, they have to fire something at an American target, okay? And everybody plays along with it. So, okay, all right, okay, just to keep it, all right, just to keep, I don't know why. I don't you bloody dare. So anyway, so in response, Iran has officially responded to our obliteration of their nuclear facilities with a very weak response, which we expected and have very effectively countered. There have been 14 missiles fired, 13 were knocked down, and 1 was set free. because it was headed in a non-threatening direction. I'm pleased to report that no Americans were harmed and hardly any damage was done. Most importantly, they've gotten it all out of their system. It's really like a toddler throwing the toys out the pram, okay? They have to just do something in response, or slam the door or something, you know? And even Donald Trump is referencing that kind of thing. Yeah, they got out of the system. I love it. Sometimes. And there will hopefully be no further hate in capital letters. I want to thank Iran for giving us early notice, which made it possible for no lives to be lost and nobody to be injured. Perhaps Iran can now proceed to peace and harmony in the region, and I will enthusiastically encourage Israel to do the same. Thank you for your attention to this matter! Exclamation mark. Now, why does he keep saying it? Why does he keep ending his things as though it's some kind of... I don't know, who's... Thank you for your attention to this matter. It's like... I can't remember. Anyway, so here's Iran. Iran is currently launching missiles towards US military bases, right? Here we go. So these are the... La 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 la. Aloha snack bar, right? These guys are excited.
Southwest, coming from the direction of Al-Udeid. Windows are shaking. La ilaha illallah.
Oh, shut up. He's doing his stupid... That's pretty pathetic, isn't it? Oh, shut up.
Probably Patriot.
Wait a minute.
La ilaha illallah. La ilaha illallah.
Who is this guy?
Southwest, coming from the direction of Al-Udeid.
Anyway. Actually, no, there was a special delivery spotted. Hold on a second. Iran launched 6 missiles towards US bases in Qatar, June 23rd, 12:41 p.m. Eastern Time. This report Iran launched 6 missiles, blah blah blah. But there is one more report of Iran's response. Here we go. Leaked footage shows Iran's lethal fighter jet launching an attack on a US military base. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Exclusive footage. Here we go. Oh, please stop. Recorder. Oh my god, that's bad. That's loud in the ear. Magic carpet. Oh, that's funny. Yeah. Hello. Sense of humor. Gotta love, gotta love. Oh god, honestly, all these doofuses who are protesting. And yeah, they did let him know. So look, don't. He remember the other day, or I don't know, somebody played a replay of, or when Donald Trump spoke to Maria Bartiromo recently, and he reminded her that when Soleimani was dealt with, Iran had said, look, please, we have to respond, but please don't fight back. Please don't attack us. We just need to make it look like we've retaliated just to appease our lunatics in the asylum, and we won't fire anything else. We promise. So I gave everybody a heads up. Anyway, I was looking for... So see how it goes. Qatar intercepted the missiles launched. Yeah. Now, you know, obviously all the stuff is about. I was hoping to see the bombed out sites. Oh, here we go. Here's the. Oh, there's more footage of Iran sending up sort of missiles to try to intercept the American ones. Here we go. More footage. Here we go. Okay, and in fact, I do have a couple of recent remarks by the Ayatollah who had comments to make to his people, and in response to things. Hold on, I've got to find the videos, ladies and gentlemen. No. Here we go. You ready? We've got to see. There's a couple of responses by the mullah or whatever the hell his name is. So, okay, there's several statements by the mullah. Now, he did speak to his people at once upon a time, and this was the. I'll go ahead and play it, right? So here, this is after the initial attack from America.
Okay, guys, I want to clarify about the big surprise, because everybody's been giving me shit about this all day, because nothing happened. So here goes, okay? I did have a big surprise. But when
So the other night, before the bus, why can I say it? Bunker busting. I mean, you know, try. I can't even say it after. I can't even say it without a drink. I haven't drunk anything, and I can't say it. Bunker busting. Come on, bunker busting, bunker busting, bunker busting. Bombs. BBB. Bunker busting bombs. See? That's going to be a good test after a couple of drinks. Anyway, before the bunker busting bombs were thrown, and after the Israelis had launched their preemptive strike on Iran, Iran had oh, that's right. Iran had their somewhat erotic. It was erotic. Let me see. Oh God, I'm going to do this without messing up. I'm going to remind you of their somewhat erotic. I'm going to say erotic again. But let's see if it's here. I have these in my. I have these in on my bookmarks. Oh, see, this won't be here actually. Oh, where's that clip? Maybe it was a joke. Maybe it wasn't really them. Right. Stroking missile. Which, no, you know, it couldn't have been. Maybe it was a joke. Was it a joke? The sinister video, the so-called sinister video with the bloke stroking his... Oh, I was so close to saying it then, but I didn't. It's not on YouTube, so maybe it wasn't real. So many videos are out there now. Maybe it's well down the list. Oh, I feel sick now. I'm feeling quite nauseated. Actually, probably in the shorts. All right, let me go here. See if I can find it. Oh, actually, I've seen one of the supporters. Oh, look. Anybody know who that is? I don't know. I would actually fire myself. You see, this is why, when I'm stinking stonking rich, I wouldn't have to worry about this. I wouldn't have to worry about the need to have all of my content ready at the touch of a few buttons, clickety clackety click. Yeah, so the problem I have is that I just go through way too much stuff. That's my issue. I save way too much stuff. I have way too much stuff. And so when I get around to showing it, it's not to hand, which is it's really bad. And I'm sure a lot of people just, they just leave me because they're not happy. They're like, oh my God, she's done it again. She still doesn't have it. And I don't have it. And that really sucks. And I've got a lot of Instagram videos, which is kind of weird. I forgot about all those. A lot of videos to show you. Oh, son of a gun. All right, well, we also have, we do have, courtesy of Dick and Doris, we have the new bomb shelters for people who think that masks work. Those have been issued as advisories for those who do think that the face nappies worked. That notice has gone out to those who think that they've worked. And all right, okay, I know it's in my bookmarks, but it would take me way too long to find it. But there was a bloke who was stroking what was like a missile, but it was a very suggestive, right? Threatening Israel with a retaliation, suggesting that they had a nuclear weapon to fire back to Israel. All right, and I don't appear to have that bloody video. Maybe somebody will be able to find it. But it was a very suggestive one. So anyway, so they threatened, they said, could be a big surprise. And of course, nothing happened because they didn't fire anything off, right? Not a missile anyway. And so as a crack, this is the comic response in the fact that Iran didn't fire back at Israel with anything.
Okay, guys, I want to clarify about the big surprise, because everybody's been giving me shit about this all day, because nothing happened. So here goes, okay? I did have a big surprise. But when I gave the order to detonate, they told me we had no nuclear scientists anymore. They're all dead. So I said, you know what? Bring me the freaking bomb. I will detonate that bitch myself. They said, sir, there is no bomb. So I said, what do you mean there is no bomb? And they said, no bomb, sir. We just heard Israel say we had one, so we all thought we had one. But we don't have shit. And then the morning came, and I was all depressed and shit, so that's what happened.
Now, I mean, I love it. Whoever's putting these together, I really
with
do.
the Iran-Israel war, or
Hold
should
on.
we sit it out?
Oh, wait a minute. This is apparently the aftermath of one of them, right? I mean, salam alaikum, isn't that, good morning or something? I mean, this is after the bunker busting has gone down, whoo, and completely destroyed. So why would he say greetings? Greetings, those of you who've been blown to bits. Oh, yeah. هذا يقولوا لا غير يخسس هو اللي يخسس غارقة هذه نعوموا فيها غارقة ولا لا There's no translation. ماشي غارقة يمكن I mean, I wouldn't be rushing up to that massive great hole if I was anybody. ماشي غارقة هذه. تفضل. السلام عليكم. السلام عليكم. Anyway, oh God. Anyway, so. Of course, there's the virtue signalers, there's the lunatic left who are, just crying their soy tears at the thought of Iran getting bombed. But you know what the thing is? We live in a time when everybody's forgotten history. We do. People have very short memories, and I've got a thing about with the Shah here, the prince he did a message, in fact. Okay, so all kidding aside, actually no, I have got a couple of other videos I want to play for you with him, because they're just funny. So, hey, where's the other one? Okay, Stand by, stand by. You know, there's nothing funny really, but I find it funny. So, 23 hours ago, so here's the...
Okay, so I want to address the rumors going around about our nuclear program being obliterated by the YMCA shake a booty dancing guy in the rallies, you know, the guy with nice hair. Anyway, I mean, you guys, why do we even need a nuclear program anyway? Can't we just get some nice solar panels and windmills and shit? We don't need nuclear shit. So anyway, I need you guys to stop using electricity because we don't got shit anymore. These motherfuckers send us back to the friggin' Stone Age. Thank you.
I mean, let's face it, they were pretty much near at the Stone Age. They're not that far away, right?
We don't need nuclear.
I mean, this looks like something from a Monty Python sketch, doesn't it? You've got all the women, right, dressed in black sheets, on one side, all the men on the other side. I mean, and this is what I can't even go there. It is so backward. But this is not Persia, this is not the Iran. Everybody's got short memories. It was only in 1979 when Iran was full of fabulous Persians, and the thing is, they call things civil wars or revolution. They called it a revolution, right? Islamic revolution. No, it was a jihad, or it was a put in by the CIA, American scumbags who, removed the Shah, had him assassinated, and put this lot in, so they could have a lot of their, proxy stuff from America to just mess about with the Middle East. I mean, it was all, I'm so cynical now. I'm so sad about the truth about what happened. But anyway, so this really was, I mean, this is not just, well, it might be, some of it might be AI. There might not really be all those people there, because it doesn't really look that real, to be frank. So there's a lot of blurry faces there. So, but anyway, there was a recording up the other day of him apparently addressing a bunch of women. Now let me see this Shah saying how it's not a woman's place to be doing the cooking and all that crap. It probably isn't even there. Anyway, so there's a lot of people who have short-term memories, and they think that Iran is an Islamic country, right? So when they reference Iran, they talk about it as though they're all Muslims, and of course they're not. Persia, ancient civilization, goes back to the beginning of time almost, and the ones who are there they're all temporary. So there's probably a lot of people who are very, I mean they're confused about Palestine, so they've got no chance with Iran about who is where and what is what. I mean, it just is, it's a quagmire. It really is. But here's the video, obviously, of
women have been promised.
And my beautiful Elvis, who was here trying to spread us, warn everybody about the horrors of Islam and what was going on. This was his country that he had to flee from in '79.
Promised by Khomeini that they would have equal rights with men. Chador, the traditional shroud of modesty, would not be compulsory.
It's not modesty.
The imposition of Islamic law here has started with an order to women to cover their heads in government offices. Several of the women who stood their ground with considerable courage were stabbed as they chanted slogans for equal rights.
The women of Iran must be covered from head to foot whenever they appear in public. The law is enforced by groups of revolutionary guards ever watchful for unveiled women.
I think I'm afraid,
The only place that in Iran the cops won't bother us is here. We can come here, have fun with our friends.
It's not exactly clear what an Islamic republic would mean for Iran and her relations with the West. Many here see it in simple terms, as a return to traditional justice and strict morality. But some details are clear. Women like these students have been promised by Khomeini that they would have equal rights with men. Although chador, the traditional shroud of modesty, would not be compulsory, there would clearly be strong pressures to adopt it. And those who've become westernized under the Shah are already finding another restriction. This restaurant, under threat, has stopped serving alcohol. There'd be complete prohibition in an Islamic republic. And pornography in the cinema, for instance, would be stamped out. The definition of what's pornographic is far stricter than in the West. What Khomeini most frequently condemns is foreign influence. The Americans and British working in the oil industry are accused by Khomeini's followers of earning vast salaries. Contracts with foreigners will be cancelled, the Ayatollah says, unless they're in Iran's interest.
Yesterday's demonstration was the nearest thing to an anti-Khomeini rally yet. The imposition of Islamic law here has started with an order to women to cover their heads in government offices. Many are furious, only a minority in Tehran.
Anyway, it's diabolical, demonic. Nobody's come back to me with the old... So this was not how they were. And these are Muslims. I am going to dig further back into the history of Persia. But it wasn't Islamic, okay? Because Islam only came along in the 610s. Okay? 610s. Persia, the Persians have been around forever. And so it's obvious to me that Islam invaded. They probably came in as minorities. Just claimed victimhood as they do. And they were empathetically treated, no doubt. And then what the thanks that people get for being kind to them, of course, is... And they call it a civil war, which of course it's not. It's an Islamic jihad. Now, anyway. Oh wait, a brief history of... Oh, should we take a look at why I have a problem?
This was Iran 40 years ago.
Let's have a review of why I have a problem with Islam. It'll be probably very well explained in 5 minutes.
I know it's hard to believe, but this is literally how we used to dress. This is Iran now.
A brief history. It will be brief. Okay, so they ruled Iran. Now, yeah, this is what's interesting. Okay, so this is saying that the Shahs ruled Iran between 1925 and 1979. And somebody this morning in the chat on Patriot Soapbox had stated that the CIA had installed the Shah in 1953. So that doesn't make sense, does it? I'm going to have to do some digging. Just out of interest, I'd like to know clearly what as best I can what the truth is. Key reforms were introduced advancing women's rights. This is when the Shah came in.
Women in Pahlavi, Iran did have the right to vote. They had the right to divorce. Women were in all fields as in terms of their careers. There was not really too many limitations.
Please hit the red pill. Please hit the thumbs up in Rumble if you can. Thank you.
He, in essence, forces women to remove their headscarves by law and by force. And it was very traumatic and in the sense that society was not ready for it and people did not want that. And
hey, then, David, long time no see.
Later, his son actually allows and reduces the enforcement of this. So that's why you have pictures throughout the 60s and 70s of women in miniskirts as well as a full body covering. In particular, because of the forced removal of the hijab on women, when the Islamists come to power, they use this as a cultural marker. And so in the same way that the removal was forced in 1979, you have the forced reimposition of different types of hijab on.
That is so mad. How she's saying it is completely ridiculous. Forced removal. Now, Do you know, there's a huge psychology to that thing, right? The hijab. This black bloody sheet. It's very interesting, actually, how she's portraying it. And I'll come out with it in a minute when she's finished. Or when it's finished to say what is. As if the forced removal.
On women. It was really the signifier for the laws to come, right? The elimination of women from the legal profession, the elimination of women from so much the public sphere. Once the decree goes out that women will have to wear hijab, it will be mandatory the next day, which is International Women's Day in 1979. You have tens of thousands of women who go out into the streets and they protest against this.
The imposition of Islamic law here has started with an order to women to cover their heads in government offices. Many are furious. Only a minority in Tehran already follow the instruction.
Called for a change.
I think the biggest movements have been in 1999. So you have during the Khatami administration, that was largely a university student movement. Men are the faces of that movement, but you have definitely the involvement of women. Women have been part of all of the protests that have occurred over the past 43 years and before. And then in 2009, a woman again became the face of the Green Movement. Neda Agha Sultan was murdered on film, on camera, and that was largely a political movement for reform. This one is very significant because how it crosses all sorts of different lines of Iranian society. First of all, the ethno-religious line, even the slogan, Zan Zendegi Azadi, women, life, freedom, is a Kurdish slogan. And then importantly, men,
Kurdish.
As women went out into the streets, men very quickly joined them. So to basically say that this is not just about women or ethnic groups, but it's about human rights. And then I would be remiss to not add the importance of the Raisi administration. The fact that this administration has, during this time period when Iran is facing so many economic problems and so much budgetary mismanagement, has decided to institute a re-Islamization program. All those members of Gen Z who can't get jobs, who can't get into the universities, they look and they see, is the government helping pay their bills? Is the government helping them get jobs? Is the government helping with the budget? No, the government is going after them for hijab. They're risking everything. They're risking their very lives. We're in the thousands now that have been arrested. We are in the dozens that have been reported as dead. Students and younger people who are not of 18 years old, they get blackballed out of universities. Those who are university students will be expelled. And this is assuming that one is not jailed, tortured, or doesn't die in custody. And so it is very much the basic elements of human rights that they are risking by engaging in the protests.
Do you know what? The thing is, ladies and gentlemen, honestly, everything's been conflated. I don't know, I can't quite get a grasp of what this woman is about. Very simple. Very simple indeed. Islam is a punitive, anti-woman ideology. It is it's worse than male chauvinism. It's obviously misogynistic because women have no rights. It's got another. The thing is with Islam, and I haven't managed. The thing that I've not been able to manage is I haven't been able to figure out the Saudi the Saudis and how they have done things. I'm not really sure how the women break through in Islam, but under Sharia, women have no rights. Women have to cover themselves to protect themselves against sexual assault. That's all that's about. It's got nothing to do with modesty at all. It's whether they turn a man on or not, and a woman is less likely to turn a man on if she's got a sheet over her. So if he doesn't see her hair, doesn't see her arms, so doesn't see her leg, then he won't get aroused and he won't assault her. But if he does, guess what? It's her fault. It's all about the woman. And in Islam, there's no reformation, no such thing. Because in their minds, the book that they quote and that they use is quoted from God. And how they've interpreted it is that women have no rights, and they can be. The word rape is not in the Quran because it's not a crime to assault a woman, so it wouldn't even exist. So when they say it's not, they don't do it. It's literally because it's not worded that way. I'm so frustrated about this, women's rights. So the veils, all right, here we go. I mean, this is huge because, of course, I distinctly recall people saying, oh, it's just it's a fashion statement. It's just for modesty, It's because of piousness for their religion, a bit like the nuns. I mean, that's a question. I'm not really sure why the nuns, was it Roman Catholic nuns who all wear their garb, right? They wear the cloaks and all that shit. Anyway, so Islam, which is not negotiable, just so you know. Sharia is not it's not alterable, or they refuse to alter it. And it says, does Islam require women to cover themselves? Yes. There is some disagreement as to whether the face should be veiled, but almost all scholars agree that a woman's hair should be covered. The covering of cloth is supposed to keep the sexual appetites of passing men at bay when women travel outside the home. This might even save a woman's life, since she's usually assumed to bear the responsibility of unlawful sexual encounters and thus subject to stoning or harassment. So a woman gets assaulted by a man, and guess what? She's at fault. She could get accused of having an extramarital affair. That's how twisted, demonic this thing is. Western women have no idea what it is that they're embracing. It's so bizarre. Or defending. So it's, of course, throughout the book, it says, in Quran 33:59, it says, O Prophet, tell your wives and your daughters and the women of the believers to draw their cloaks or veils all over their bodies. That will be better, that they should be known so as not to be annoyed, because the implication as well is that if a woman's covered, that means she's married as well. That could signify that she's married. And so allegedly another man's wife you can't, might be safer. But again, they don't go by the rules, guys. They don't have rules. That's for the Quran. The word annoyed is in Arabic, which actually means harmed or hurt elsewhere in the same surah. How would a woman be harmed for not covering herself? Let's just say that Yusuf Ali translates it as molested, as that a woman could bring sexual abuse on herself if she's not properly covered. I mean, it's just beyond my comprehension how women can be so stupid, so thick, so ignorant of the sinister aspect of this thing. Anyway, it says it here. The religion of peace explains it, says it clearly. And of course they have the hadith and the surahs of Muhammad. So the whole thing is fiction. The whole thing's made up. After Muhammad died, and these people start talking about his life and how he conducted himself. And of course, he was a pedophile. He was a womanizer, a rapist, etc., etc. Disgusting, amoral piece of crap. And that's who the people in Islam revere. They revere him, and they should be emulating what he does. That's why there's no problem with children marrying a 6-year-old, because Muhammad did it. So why would they say there's nothing wrong? I'm telling you, psychopaths wrote that book. Anyway, you can find it on The Religion of Peace. Just look at the top. I recommend, right? Go to The Religion of Peace. This is all objective. It's totally from their own books, their own writings, and it's factual information. And just so you know, from the 14th to the 20th of this month, there were 47 jihadist attacks. 180 people have been killed, 428 have been injured, suicide blasts 1, and this was in 9 countries. So I can go through the list of Aloha Snack Bar for you. So in Uganda, yesterday a suicide bomber was killed during an attempt to detonate at a market. Good, riddance to bad rubbish. Yesterday also in Syria, Damascus, a devotee of Islam opened fire in a church and then he set off a suicide blast that left over 20 dead. Anybody heard about the blast in a church? Suicide, jihadist, Islamic, killing 22 people and injuring 63. Did that make a headline news? No, of course it didn't. Gaza. Oh, in Gaza on the 22nd, they recovered the three bodies from of the hostages from October 7th. Bangladesh, you've got Pakistan, Nigeria, Syria, Chad, Israel. Israelis discovered a woman's body amid the rubble from an Iranian missile strike. Anyway, the religion of peace, you see, if you take the opposite of what the words they use like peace, there's nothing peaceful about it, right? Religion of pieces. Anyway, it's very frustrating. I find it very, very galling. Really pisses me off. But anyway, Donald Trump back to Iran. I'd like to thank the highly respected Emir of Qatar for all that he has done in seeking peace for the region. Regarding the attack today at the American base in Qatar, I'm pleased to report that, in addition to no Americans being killed or wounded, very importantly, there have also been no Qataris killed or wounded. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Oh, interesting. That's very interesting. Wishful thinking has said that Islam, anagram for malice. Yeah, malicious.
$1 a barrel.
This is happening. So everybody's talking about the prices going up, right? Everybody's concerned about the prices going up because they're threatening all this. The warmongers, the normal agenda of the one world order is to spread bad news, right? And spread concern. Is my microphone working okay? Because it looks like it's dropping out again. Hello, testing. Anyway, they're claiming that the Straits of Hormuz are going to be closed and the oil prices are going to go. There's going to be an oil shortage. All the doom and gloom that they spread, right? And it's knee-jerk reactions to everything. They don't let the dust settle. They don't wait for the news to go around. And in the meantime, apparently, oil prices dropped by 7.5%.
And why the stunning drop to now below $69 a barrel?
This is really unbelievable. If you want one number that crystallizes everything that Jennifer Griffin and Trey Yingst and Jillian were just saying, it's the oil price right now. We are in the 60s, okay? We are at a lower oil price right now than we were when President Trump took office. And in the context of the last 48 hours, in the context of the last week and a half, it's almost mind-boggling that the oil price, West Texas Intermediate, would have a 6 handle on it. Meantime, you've got the Dow up 200, 300 points at one point today. What it tells you is the risk premium on oil, the risk premium that traders are assessing on Middle Eastern activities, conflict, is basically draining out as we speak. Remember, we've been talking about the threat of Iran maybe going after the Strait of Hormuz. As oil ticks down, what it's telling you is the folks who monetarily have the biggest stake in the game in oil are saying, we don't think Iran's going to do that in any meaningful way. Stock investors are saying all the risks of inflation that we were baking in that were maybe causing markets to go down, that's draining out of the system. This is really, these numbers tell you that the people who make it a professional endeavor to assess risk in the world are saying at this moment, risk in the Middle East is diminishing because of what Israel's accomplished, because of what the United States and this president have accomplished, and what it's meant to Iran. Clearly, Iran has gotten a signal that it has not gotten in a very long time.
Do you know, and so I just want to play the Shah, the possibly the incoming Shah. What is she wearing?
Right now, honey, and we are feeling the.
What is
Hello,
this?
everybody.
Oh,
I
hey.
am Chartreuse Money, and today, as current temperatures right here, Saturday, it's 2:40 p.m., honey. It is 80 degrees here in Portland right now, honey, and we are feeling the effects. The sun is out. All it took was a pride parade to bring the sunshine out today, but honey, it is hot all over the state. We got 78 degrees in Lewiston. I know the people of Lewiston, Auburn are probably celebrating and jumping in the river. Please don't do that. Be safe, because it is hot, 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 and we need to find relief. Sanford's 81. Portsmouth down in New Hampshire is a lovely 83. Honey, the water is 56 degrees, okay? Now, I know what you're thinking. That sounds so tropical, but you still got to be careful, okay? Hypothermia is real, so take it easy. 78 degrees in Waterville, 71 degrees in Greenville, and 76 in Millinocket. And shout out to my friends up in Caribou. I see you up there, Caribou. It's 73 degrees up there. Hope you're having a good old time. Hello, everybody.
This is Maine, Maine. New England? Charmaine. Oh my God. That would just have to be on my feed. Anyway. All right. Donald Trump's got this in hand. I mean, what a change, right? What a difference a day makes. And, you know, we know there's a totally different attitude towards America, the Middle East. They're not going to play the games. It's over. So we're looking at the crypto markets, which were bleeding somewhat, quite hemorrhaging over the weekend. It's still, obviously, it's not recovered. It's at $3.19 trillion. Bitcoin's back up over 100. It's at 103,000. XRP's back up over $2. It's at $2.08 nicely. I don't know. I'll see what the low was just on the weekend. Let's see. It went down to $1.97. Well, that was today, actually. Hang on. I thought it went down lower than $1.96, $1.97, but maybe it didn't. You know, it's been dipping and up and dipping and dipping, but it's fine. Fine. All by design, ladies and gentlemen, all by design. I was going to show you. Oh, yes. Okay. I want, you know, this silly cow. I swear to God, she's probably one of these. She's conflating a lot of stuff. She's conflating a lot of stuff about women and the veil and making it a sort of Western mind instead of the truth about the reality of the situation under Sharia. It's just very disingenuous. So what I want to do is give you, I think, is it here? One minute. Oh no, that was the one before. Mayo Tusi's doing some good stuff. He did this video earlier today. Okay, so this is a statement from the what potentially could be the incoming. Right, the shot. It feels to me more than ever in the last 40 plus years that really we're going to see, just as a matter of time, that this man's going to be back in and Iran's going to be freed from the jihad, from the Islamic hell that it's been subjected to for 46 years. So he did a speech earlier, which I'm going to play from the beginning.
So they could go and communicate because, oh yes, the civil war is coming.
It is time.
It won't be a civil war, by the way, technically speaking, but I guess it, you know. Anyway.
Time to end the suffering.
Hey, Wayne.
So today, I have a direct message for Ali Khamenei. Step down. And if you do, you will receive a fair trial and due process of law, which is more than you have ever given any Iranian. To other senior regime officials, those of you whose hands are soiled with the blood of the Iranian people, you too will have to face justice. But we will not repeat the mistakes in other failed transitions. To those of you who are loyal to the Iranian nation and not the Islamic Republic, there is a future for you in a democratic Iran. If you join the people now, the choice is yours to make. I know these officers, these soldiers, these brave men exist because they are reaching out to me and telling me they want to be part of this national salvation. But now, greater coordination is needed. So to that end, today I am announcing that I am establishing a formal channel for military, security, and police personnel to reach out directly to me, my team, and our expanding operation. This is a secure platform to efficiently manage the growing volume of inbound communications and requests from those breaking with the regime and seeking to join our movement. For those patriotic members of our armed forces, the time is now to join the nation. If you do, I will make sure your service to Iran is not forgotten and is celebrated.
We also have some breaking news. The Chancellor of Germany, Friedrich Merz, has come out to say that there is absolutely no reason to criticize the United States for attacking the Islamic Republic of Iran. Go on, Germany! Brilliant. Of course, we were expecting this from the German government compared to Emmanuel Macron and all the other weirdos. So we have this. Of course, the Iranian people and Reza Pahlavi himself, they continue to say that we don't need the Americans to impose a regime change on the people. It's the job of the people. They have to take control, and they will do it. And of course, Reza Pahlavi is now leading the opposition to ensure to do that. We don't need.
So, you know, remember, Donald Trump is not trying to get regime. He said it might be an idea. He said, in fact, he said MAGA, and in fact, it wasn't just him. This is big, huge. This is huge, right? This is just incredibly huge. The whole thing with Iran. This thing. Sorry, I got it. This was just. I don't know what to say about the black women. Where was it? Here. So this is a bit of music behind it.
That we need, however, is much more support, not just outside pressure, which is important, but it will not ultimately lead to a regime collapse, coupled with maximum support. Then you will see maximum defection will facilitate the transition. That's what we need to work together on in order to make Iran great again, as the President Trump wants to make America great again. We just separated by one letter. We say MAGA, he says MAGA.
Right, so it's like MAGA. So Donald Trump said it's not politically correct to use the term regime change. But if the current Iranian regime is unable to make Iran great again, why wouldn't there be a regime change? MAGA. So, Two Guns Pete is asking, does Iran mean Aryan in Farsi? I don't know. Yeah, wishful thinking, that was tranny weather. Yeah, no, I'm very, just from my own personal opinion, which is for what it's worth. Well, it's pretty clear. Islam is toxic, it's vile, it's a death cult, it's oppressive, it's violent, and it's just, it has no place really in the world as an ideology. It's not a religion. And whoever's used it for whatever purposes to impose it on people, or for them to come up with this fake whatever, wherever Islam goes, misery follows. Okay? It's just as simple as that. wherever it is, wherever Islam exists, it is a death cult. It is negative, antithetical to what we understand, simply put, as traditional values, right? As seriously the conservative family, right? Unit, respect for lives, respect for other people, all that good stuff, right? Islam doesn't have any of that, and it never will. So, you know, yeah, my thing is the only good Muslim is the next Muslim. That's simples. And, you know, there's a lot of people getting in there with their emotions about Iran, and I would suggest that most people don't know the history. And it's tricky to find the truth. It really is. It's tricky to find what is true and what isn't. But if you are of a right mind, when you believe in a morality that is, I don't have to explain it. Right? I shouldn't have to explain. The respect for other human beings, men and women, the respect, the tolerance, all the good stuff. Thou shalt not kill. That is the other side of Islam. And Iran was Persia. Iran had, the people were good people. You can tell by the character. Before they were foisted, they had this Islamic shit put on them. And I'm very happy. But a lot of people would say, you know, talk about interfering and it's World War III and blah, blah. No, it's not. It's not. It's all good. Now, I'm not going to read it tonight. But what I'm doing is, with the whole plan, you know, we're all it's all an agenda, right? It's all everything is being played out by a schedule. In the Matrix. And in fact, somebody called Observing Consciousness on X has done a Substack series, is doing a Substack series on the Palantir, the capture by the White Hats of the Palantir organization or agenda, whatever the hell it is. And I'm going to be reading it on my morning Patriot Soapbox broadcast, just because of the time it takes to read it. But what I intend to do is to take these, where this individual's putting them in chapters, you know, episodes on the Substack. So currently they're up to number 4, or they're up to the 12th degree of the 33 degrees. So my intention is to grab these and I will upload them onto my website, and I will update that article with each new episode or chapter, whatever you want to call it. And I have a feeling that with all of the darkness that people are sort of keep on getting shrouded in, I think we have to realize that there really is a plan to drain the swamp, really, to destroy the agenda of the dark side. So, and it seems to be, it's becoming more apparent with messaging, decodes. You know, Donald Trump seems to be dropping more references to the Q drops in his messaging. And it's getting quite exciting. It says, so on yesterday, he wrote that the great B-2 pilots have just landed safely in Missouri. Thank you for a job well done. Donald J. Trump, President of the United States. Now, Observing Consciousness said, even Trump's latest comm drips of formal legal mission critical commander-in-chief directive language. Boom, next phase begins now. Drop 1296. Next phase will bring justice. I mean, I'm not going to get too excited about that, right? Oh yes, and no, I was going to say, it's really odd with this bunker busting bombs that apparently happened on Saturday. I mean, it's never going to come out, but I think it's a bit odd that my show on Friday night, there had been reports of earthquake not far away from one of the sites on the Friday. So I'm wondering, really, if we're a day behind what's happening. But, you know, they're delaying information coming out because they're definitely, the reports of the earthquake on the Friday came about. I mean, what are the chances of a bunker busting bomb being released and reports of an earthquake in the same region, but on the Friday, not the Saturday? Anyway, that was on my Friday night show. I say go up to the 20 minutes and play it from there. You'll get it. All right, well, let me just check the chats in here. Lord Nagtron in Rumble, thank you so much. Mr. Good News. For anti-Zionists, there's an X space. For some reason you put a link to an X space. And yeah. Let's see, I'm going to take a look in the chats. Two Guns Pete, what's wrong with scientists? Zionists, Mr. Good News. Wait, Mr. Good News. Oh. No, this is for anti-Zionists, not Zionists. Derek Marshall's in the house. Good evening to you, sir. And today in Londonistan, we had ridiculous protests, which, for those of you who may be aware, the other day, or the other night, a pro-Palestine group called Palestine Action did a ridiculous act of vandalizing a couple of planes on Briars Norton, broke into the airbase and committed acts of vandalism, allegedly. And today, I mean, really, there is no such place as Palestine, okay? There isn't actually an official location in the world called Palestine. Just remember that. There is no Palestinian state, even though it's been offered to these Arab Muslims in that region to be given one. They've refused. And so this flag, which is purported to represent a place that they reference Palestine, is in fact pretty much the Jordanian flag. It's just, I believe the Jordanian flag, I mean, it's my expert on flags, ladies and gentlemen. I believe it has a little star on it. Yeah, there we go. I mean, from Jordanian flag, my Palestine. Yeah, let's just take this. Hello? Does anybody see a resemblance? Just take that little star out, and hey presto, you've got your Palestine. Does that ring a bell? And remember, just so you know, I recall people had said back in the day that apparently people who were the Palestine Liberation Organization located in Gaza, in that region, apparently they one night, they went to bed one night as Jordanians, and they apparently woke up the next morning as Palestinians. Hello, sleight of mind. So look, they've just taken the Jordanian flag and removed the bloody star. What really it should really be the, I'll tell you which flag it should be. Yeah, that one. This one. Not that one. The crescent moon. They worship the moon. And that's haram for them to worship an idol. But it should be this green one that is the jihadist. That's what it should be. those people living in that region. It's a shame. I just find it very sad that people in the West have no idea, are clueless about Islam. Very, very ignorant of the truth. Now, let's see. So this is, listen to this.
Fighting us over there.
Listen to this.
Can we stop saying? Could we just agree on this? Could we
Now this guy's Jewish, right? And I can't stand him. I can't stand him. But Brigitte Gabriel, who is of the Lebanon, she said, Iran does not hate us because of Israel. Iran hates us because the Quran demands it.
stop saying that we're fighting them over there so that we don't have to fight them over here?
Yes.
They're fighting us over there because we're over there. A recent study by the Center for Strategic and International Studies, I know that sounds like a bullshit organization.
It is a bullshit organization.
It is?
Yeah.
Why do you say that? I heard it was a very...
I've been studying it for years. How much time have you got?
Well, anyway...
You can hardly pronounce its name. I've known it for a long time. It is a bullshit organization. It's like the Lancet and the casualty figures. It's a junk science by junk scholars.
But, all right, tell me why I should believe...
However, you're right on your premise.
...that they really want to fight us in Dollywood, but they're not.
Well, let me give you an example from Mr. Jefferson, since you asked me to mention my book, which I happily do, available fine bookstores everywhere. In 1788, when the United States was barely a country,
right,
was having its sailors taken as slaves by the Barbary states, the states of the Ottoman Empire in North Africa.
Tripoli.
Tripoli,
the shores
exactly,
of Tripoli.
Shores of Tripoli. And its people, its ships stopped, its crews carried off into slavery. We estimate 1.5 million European and American slaves taken between 1750 and 1815. Jefferson and Adams went to their ambassador in London and said, why do you do this to us? The United States has never had a quarrel with the Muslim world of any kind. We weren't in the Crusades. We weren't in the war in Spain. Why do you do this to our people and our ships? Why do you plunder and enslave our people? And the ambassador said very plainly, Mr. Abdul Rahman said, because the Quran gives us permission to do so, because you are infidels. And that's our answer. And Jefferson said, well, in that case, I will send a navy which will crush your state, which he did. And a good thing, too. Islamic fundamentalism is not created by American democracy. It's a lie to say so. It's a masochistic lie.
Yep.
And it excuses those who are the real criminals, and it blames us for the attacks made upon us.
Boom. Now, is that Christopher Hitchens? That's Christopher Hitchens, isn't it? I mean, I say, the whole thing is a big fat fake. So he's right. So that guy, the other guy is a scumbag. Now, Brigitte Gabriel, I don't know. She made a comment about should people get involved in... Let's see what she said. Brigitte, I have all the time in the world for her.
This is one of the most important videos I share with you. Americans are extremely cautious about getting dragged into another Middle Eastern war, spending billions of dollars and endangering the lives of our service members. But let's put Israel aside. This video is about the plans Iran has for America, an electromagnetic pulse attack, EMP. This is something I'm very familiar with and have worked directly with the Congressional Commission on EMP since 2009. The Iranian government is led by religious fanatics with an apocalyptic vision who literally believe they can have a direct hand in ushering back their Islamic Messiah known as the Mahdi by creating a worldwide catastrophe. This Messiah will cause Islam to become the supreme religion on earth. This has been the driver of their nuclear program from the start. While we think this is crazy, the mullahs take it as their supreme religious duty. The Iranian mullahs who look for a worldwide apocalypse as a prelude to the return of the Mahdi get a twofer if they successfully trigger an EMP attack on the United States. They get to topple the great Satan, America, and destroy the little Satan, Israel, who will not have America coming to their defense. Iran has been working with North Korea on missile development, and former President Ahmadinejad attended the North Korean missile tests in 2006 and 2007. Iran's nuclear plan is to put a nuclear head on a North Korean ballistic missile with the anticipation of launching it from a ship at sea so it is not tracked back to Iran, to be detonated 500 kilometers above the sky in the middle of the United States. This explosion will create an electromagnetic pulse attack and paralyze America. No one will immediately die, but you will wake up in the morning and there's no electricity. You're late to work. You turn on your car, but the car is dead. People will not know what happened for 24 to 48 hours before panic sets in. Food stores will be mobbed.
I didn't know all this.
Once food is gone, there will be no way to get food.
Well, that's all history now, but that was, I didn't even know any of that. This was just, this was put in the chat just as I was starting the show. So it looks like, I guess maybe President Trump heard that and said, okay, sod that for a bloody laugh. And because I don't know what Russia's playing out. I think it's all games. You know, Russia's pretending to talk about sending nuclear warheads to Iran. You know, it's all noise. It's all noise. And in the meantime, crypto baby, and it's going to go. All right, it's going to be big. It's going to be huge, and it's really not far away. I guarantee it. I mean, it may seem like I've been talking about this forever, but I can tell you, ladies and gentlemen, it is within. I mean, if I said within spitting distance, I can't stand these people. I cannot stand these people. Anyway, I am. That's the link to the Instagram with the Brigitte Gabriel if you want to see it. Did I put it in Foxhole? Yes. Did I put it in D-Live? Yes. You know, these people are all brain dead. They don't know what they're doing. They don't know what they're doing. And they can all go to, you know, they can all go to hell. No, that's the wrong one. I just want to see what 24 Hours Crypto has said. Because we've got the legislation, that's what I'm bothered about. Let's see, videos. Mr. Crypto, what's the last? A day ago, he hasn't done one? 2 days ago? Alright, never mind. It's all good. Wait a minute. There's another one, okay, to round up with my amusing Mueller videos.
Okay, I know some of you crazy motherfuckers are calling for death to America and crazy shit like that. But let's get real, people. The new American president with the nice hair is not fucking around, okay? He specifically told me he will shove a bunker buster missile up my ass if I ever harmed any American. And I don't know about you, but that shit sounds painful as hell. So let's all just chill a little bit, okay? Go fuck a goat or whatever you crazy guys do in your spare time, okay? Thank you. Okay.
I don't know who gives Il Donaldo Trumpo is absolutely hilarious. Chances of me ever believing that Islam is a religion of peace is a pie chart. Most of it is none, and the only partial yellow bit says also none, put it in yellow. Next price target, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, for XRP, baby, I'm going to say $10. $10. Well, look at it. I mean, $10. That's just like, I'm being very, very, absolutely just, I'm joking, really. I mean, $10 is just, I mean, you know, surefire thing. Let me see, where's my XRP? Let me see, wait a minute, I saw something there, hang on. Where was that? Okay. Here is it on my bookmarks. Hang on. Oh no, I don't want to see that. That wasn't that one. I just had it up there. Hold on. Coded. Not that one. Stand by. I just saw about Basel 3 and gold. Basel 3 gold. I'm not.
When we stop saying.
Wait, shush. Let's see gold. Let me just see gold. Oh, I know. Right, yeah, I think it's going to be, you know, $10, easy peasy, lemon squeezy. I mean, that's just for starters. When Oh, look at that gold. Is it? Oh my God, look at that gold. Is at $3,369. 7 cents. I put gold in there. I meant to put XRP. It's at $2.07. Arthur Britto, co-founder of Ripple and one of the most mysterious figures in crypto, has just posted on X. Yes, the same Britto who once said XRP was designed to reach $10,000. $10,000. What? Per XRP? Coincidence? This is from 4 hours ago. Or is something big brewing? Let's break it down. This is very good for a Monday night. So, who is Arthur Britto? If you're deep in the XRP community, you already know. Britto helped architect the XRP ledger alongside Jed McCaleb and David Schwartz. But unlike them, he vanished from the public eye. No interviews, no tweets, no hype. Just a shadow in the background, often compared to Satoshi Nakamoto, to do with Bitcoin, for his silence and influence until now. Years ago, a quote attributed to Britto lit up the forums. XRP was designed for $10,000. Not as a price prediction, but as a theoretical valuation of if XRP became the backbone of global liquidity, which what it's designed and it's going to be doing, in case you hadn't got the memo. So why does his return matter? Because this week XRP just hit 1.5 million transactions in 24 hours, the highest in 4 months. The network is waking up, and Britto doesn't post for nothing. The XRP community has been starved for a catalyst. Ripple's institutional momentum is growing, but this could hint at something deeper. The tech upgrades, insider movement, a major liquidity partnership, strategic timing. Context is everything in crypto. Britto's sudden activity coincides with record on-chain volume, Ripple IPO rumors, pre-bull run market conditions. That's not nothing, that's a pattern. The bull run confirmed? It's too early to say, but Arthur Britto doesn't casually drop breadcrumbs. When someone this silent speaks, you listen. Final thought, in crypto, silence can be louder than noise, and Britto just broke his. Stay alert, something's coming. Yeah, baby. So, let's see. Oh, I saw somebody do they've already done a meme coin for this. I can't believe it. So he posted 5 hours ago with just a... And Joel Katz, David Schwartz has said, I can confirm this was not a hack or compromise of Arthur Britto's account. Okay. Yeah. No. All right, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to say it now. Oh, I can't do this. Oh my God, what's that? 135? Oh my God. Anyway, right, that's it. I don't know why I've got this on here, why I've got a 135-year-old bloke. What is that? Breaking. Over 100 people were stabbed by syringes in coordinated attack at a French music festival. Aloha Snack Bar. Yeah, here's the Arthur Britto. Jack the Rippler. Breaking. Ripple co-founder breaks nearly 14 years of silence. Oh, I didn't know it'd been 14 years since he posted it. Since he's been... Wow. Wow. Okay, guys. I'm excited. All right, watch the space. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, if you tolerate this, then your children will be next. We may be getting ready for liftoff. Listen, Quantum, hang on in there. It's getting exciting. We have the Genius Act is going to go through the House and then be signed by the President. Everything's going to it's going to suddenly flood in. It is. Right? Okay. I'm not going to worry about Iran, Israel. You know what I mean? I personally don't have a problem with Israel. I think that everybody talking about Israel expanding is a nonsense because they're not. I'm not going to go down that road. The 1%, though, with that whole Rothschild stuff, that's something very, very serious. And I did have, in fact, where did I see? I saw, maybe it's probably in my bookmarks. There was an image with the Rothschilds and XRP. Let me just see if I've got it here. Oh yeah, here we go. Okay, I'm going to finish with a couple of sort of more, well, I was going to say light-hearted videos, but let me just see if I've got the Rothschild thing. I'll be so pissed off if I don't have it. Oh my god. Is it? When oil gets disrupted, currencies bleed. They're testing XRP. Now, Pompeo says they're using war to flip the financial system. The US airstrikes on Iran, not just geopolitics, is a reset ritual. When oil stops moving, fiat dies, and behind closed doors, they're testing the new rails. XRP isn't a coin, it's the escape plan. I like that. I like it. I like it a lot. Now, of course, I did see a... Oh, you know what? I think I put it in my... Did I put it in my Telegram? I'm so well organized. I mean, I'd be dangerous. I would. But I'm not. So everybody stand down. If I was organized, I'd be dangerous. So I don't know what happened to that, but never mind. Anyway, XRP is going to do it. XRP is going to derail. It's going to remove the power away from the bankers. Yeah, baby. Boom, the unplug. Iran, Israel, Trump, and the global reset. See it yet? Iran hits Ashdod, not CENTCOM. What is this? I like observing consciousness, just so you know.
This has to be one of the craziest 589s hidden in plain sight I've ever seen. Seriously, how do you explain this one?
I think the macro trends around crypto are very, very, very positive. We can debate, how quickly those things are going to happen.
You guys, that was intentional. I don't know who we're waiting for at CNBC to give us confirmation because that'll never happen. So I'm going to say it again. That was intentional. That is an impossible coincidence. Credit to XRP Drops for that find. But you know what's even more interesting about that? It's not an XRP that 589 is sitting beneath in the video. It's a Bitcoin. And that got me thinking. Since Bitcoin and XRP are complementary, as I discussed in this video, because Bitcoin's proof-of-work energy consumption is by design to generate real value, and how it will be sent over the clean green consensus protocol of the XRP ledger, making them complementary. And also in this video, how the colors of the Bitcoin and Ripple logos were likely chosen because they match ionized liquid gold and silver, which implies the hidden relationship of gold store of value and silver payments, again making them complementary. This all meant to me there was likely a singular effort behind the creation and direction of both of these world-changing cryptos that simply isn't stated publicly, but that the pieces are there to put together. Could that explain why the first time the Bitcoin source code was ever posted in a public forum was 589, May 8, 09? If everything is way more orchestrated behind the scenes than we realize, could it have been a clever team of cryptographers who enjoy riddling, who not only built Bitcoin, but who started the whole 589 thing to begin with, to kick things off with a subliminal 589 embedded into Bitcoin itself? Satoshi didn't stick around for long, by the way. he sent his last ever email on April 23rd, 2011, saying he was moving on to other things. Okay, what happened exactly 5 years, 8 months, and 9 days after Satoshi's last email? Brad Garlinghouse was named CEO of Ripple. What in the world are the chances, you guys? And if 589 isn't a clue that things are quietly coordinated behind the scenes, how do you explain this? On May 8, 2009, the same date the Bitcoin source code was published in a public forum for the first time ever, the SEC approved release number 34-59895, the file that established the regulatory blueprint that laid the legal and logistical foundation for future digital asset products like Bitcoin ETFs, foreshadowing the tokenized financial future we are entering right now. And it ended in 59895. I said to ChatGPT, holy shit, this specific file served as the whole playbook for digital asset ETFs? And it replied, yes, holy shit is right. This specific SEC file from May 8, 2009 didn't just approve a gold ETF. It codified the architecture that would become the playbook for every single digital asset ETF that followed. Do you realize what this means? It means 589 was coded into Bitcoin and digital assets in general before XRP.
That's not financial advice. Now, look, I've got to play this for you. I have got something special to play for you to finish, all right? I'm just going to go back to a couple of things I had in my feed, which, I mean, you know, it shows we've reached a point, I believe, in our evolving of going down into the depths. Black America. I mean, this is just... I mean, I want to think this is a joke. What is going on? You see, unfortunately, they've lost their way. Make it stop. The sad thing is they've got the benches there because they have to sit down because they're so fat, they got so out of shape that they have to sit down between things. And somebody put Americans' black culture as twerking, gangster rap, ebonics, naming your firstborn after luxury goods, gang violence. Did I miss anything? Oh, it's very sad. And here's another one. I mean, these are black colleges, by the way. They're not, you know. What's the deal with the hooker stuff? I don't get this. This is so painful. Right, enough of that. I know, probably the men might be enjoying this, but I mean, sorry, it's just like, please. Now let's just see some more wholesome, you know. Well, actually, not quite. Here we go.
We're a part of each other's lives forever now. You know what we get to do? Thunder on each other's weddings.
Oh, wait. Oh, yeah.
When we make this team.
Oh,
we're
sorry.
Gonna make it together.
I thought it was a proper
Come
performance.
with me to DCC Meet the Team Night. This night is really cool because it's where the cheerleaders do their first dress rehearsal for the season and they get to invite their family and friends to come watch. Of course, we get to see them do their iconic Thunderstruck dance, and we also get to see them run through all of their performances for the first game. Now, if
Dallas Cowboys, baby. Anyway. What else was I doing? What's this? Right. Hang on. Did I... oh, God. Pardon me. That's not what I had. Hang on. I don't know when the One Big Beautiful Bill is due to go in. Okay, here's the... this is so true. No, it's not. Not that. Hang on. Stand by. Wait a minute. Where's my bookmarks? Okay, here we go. Get this, alright? So this is... how's your awakening going? And I swear... it's so... I'm so relieved to hear this woman say what she's saying. Because this is what this is me.
Me waking up was going to be this hard. Like how the simple shit that you used to enjoy isn't enjoyable anymore. Shit like going out to eat with family. It's like, you don't want to know what's in that. Or what the containers are made of that we put it in after. And how about just enjoying a holiday? Like, do you really know why we celebrate this holiday and where it came from? Can't even watch the fucking Weather Channel anymore. You know who controls the weather, right? Can't watch a TV show or a movie because there's fucking symbolism in everything. Walks in nature ain't the same. Like, hey, you know why that mountain over there is shaped like a snake? Because it was one. Or God forbid you look up at the fucking moon. Don't even get me started. Going to fucking work. Like, hey, you know, money's not real. God forbid you fucking sneeze and someone says, bless you. Like, do you know who you're blessing? Going to fucking family events like birthday parties. Like, you know, saying happy birthday is a satanic ritual.
I mean, there's more you could add to that, really. It is absolutely mad. It's terrible. It's like, oh, I can't see things anymore like I used to. Nothing. Nothing. What, films? I don't want to see any films. Not just because of the symbolism, but because of Pedo Island. I mean, but yeah, she's spelling it out. I'm sure there's more people who've done content like that. Anyway, got a lot of Shah stuff. There was another one I wanted to show you. Wait a minute, where is it? Oh no, it's not here. Hang on. Hang on. This looks interesting. Is it this one? Wait. Nope. Nope. Oh, hang on. Oh no. Sorry. This, I'll save this for Wednesday, ladies and gentlemen. XRP baby. Alright. Singing happy birthday. I didn't know it was a satanic ritual. I'm gonna have to look that one up. Oh nah. I do it all the time. Alright, I hope you've enjoyed tonight's delectable delights for this evening. I'm going to just say, you know, there's not going to be a World War III. Okay, the fake stream news and everybody's losing their, you know what, trying to get everybody anxious. And I mean, to be fair, I did fill my tank yesterday. I mean, that was before I saw the memes and I saw Donald Trump and saw what they did. So I did fill my tanks because I feel that in England we probably will have artificially inflated oil prices just because. But, you know, I feel trust the plan. I think the plan is going beautifully, swimmingly. I think Iran is going to be returned to the rightful owners, to the Iranian people, to the Persians, Persia. Everything is going into place. You know, President Trump is getting, really, he is spreading peace. There's many more things he's doing, you know, quietly that are being put in place for us for a very peaceful future. So I'm feeling tonight, it may seem like the world is falling apart, but I do feel that it really is looking brighter, especially XRP, baby. Come on now. Come on now. So, yeah, I'm not doing the fear porn. I'm going to be optimistic and get ready for the good times. And I think the 4th of July will be quite exciting, really. I think it'll be probably one of the best well, actually, I think next year's 4th of July is probably going to be better. But anyway, hope you enjoyed tonight's show. And just remember, if you tolerate this, then your children will be next. Thank you for being here with me tonight. Oh, God, bad news. In Foxhole, I got a blue pill. Getting a blue pill in Foxhole is a bit like a thumbs down. It's probably because of Israel. I blame Israel. I do. It's Israel's fault. Anyway, have a good one. Don't have nightmares, but do remember, as I said, if you tolerate this, then your children will be next. And we just can't have that, you know. Oh, look, I'm on live. Thank you for watching on YouTube. My apologies, because I haven't actually, to be honest with you, I haven't got into my YouTube. City Flyers there. GX, there's a Brad video with 589 on a bill in the background. What? Oh, the one I played? Ah. Thanks, GX. I gotta give myself a thumbs up in YouTube. I mean, come on, if I don't do it. Hey now! Yeah! Alright, so, in fact, 24 Hours Crypto did do a video. So I'm going to play his intro on the way out, and I will catch you all on the next one. So until the next time, ladies and gentlemen, praise to Amy, out.
At Ripple, we're thinking much bigger than just cross-border payments. It's kind of like Amazon with rare books in the early days. Just this market happens to be a $10 trillion market.
We are at a historic turning point.
Said in the past that you are doing for money what email did for communication.
Moving the whole revolution forward. There's trillions of dollars parked around the world. RP.
Is there a possibility that Ripple could take over Swift one day?
Well, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of 24 Hours of Crypto. Let's get right into today's video. Arthur Britto just broke a 14-year silence with a single tweet. And that silence speaks louder than any white paper you've ever read. And let's talk about it. If you don't know who Arthur Britto is, then you haven't been in this game long enough. This man is the Satoshi of the XRP ledger, a ghost in the machine, a man who helped build the infrastructure that is about to flip the global financial system on its head. And after vanishing from the public, he just tweeted right now when XRP is sitting at the edge of global deployment. And yeah, guess what? It's not a coincidence. And the 10-year vision that was sold to the banks, which we talked about a couple episodes ago, that is the real deal. And we are on, like I said, on the edge of global deployment. And it is going to get monumental, ladies and gentlemen. Arthur Britto is one of the original co-founders of the XRP Ledger alongside Jed McCaleb, David Schwartz. And back in 1991, just to give you guys some insight, he was coding video games. This guy wasn't some hype dude. You know, he was a very, very good coder. It was called Armor Alley is the game that he put together. But what makes this even crazier, he also is the founder and president of PolySign. Okay, PolySign is the institutional grade custody solution that was built to hold trillions in tokenized assets. It's regulated, bank grade, and designed for a world where money doesn't move through paper contracts, but it flows through blockchains. Who do you think is PolySign built for? Ripple, XRP, the new system. Let's stack this up. Ripple invested in Bitso back in 2018. A crypto exchange that now dominates the corridors in Latin America. Fact. Guess who else is a major investor in Bitso? You guessed it, Arthur Britto. And guess who's been using XRP for cross-border settlements long before headlines ever showed up? Ripple and Bitso. So let me paint this clearly. One of the most mysterious figures in crypto, a man who co-created the XRP ledger, built an institutional custody vault via PolySign. He also literally said, this is on the web archives, they need XRPL to scale to 7.5 billion people and devices. Right when the world is breaking apart, right when the markets are dumping, right when the new financial system is about to go live. 2017, it was meant to serve 7.5 billion people. Devices, not just people, devices. That means real world assets, smart contracts, cars, houses, Internet of Things, AI payments, interconnected, whatever you want to call them, all running on chain. That's why Ripple built the plumbing
That's why PolySign exists. That's why Bitso has been scaling. And that's why XRP's current price is the biggest lie in financial history, trading at $2.08. So when Arthur Brito tweets this one emoji after 14 years of silence, this is about to get crazy. I can't even believe this tweet came out. It's already got 1 million views. This is the man who disappeared while building the back end for $1 trillion value transfer system. And now he's stepping back into the light, just as Ripple's global infrastructure goes from theory to activation. Do not ignore this. The ones who built this knew it was coming. They didn't bet on any kind of hype. They bet on the certainty of building something correct and pitching it to these financial institutions, then they were on board. And if you're still questioning XRP's role, then you haven't done your homework.